Now it is time for What's Hot, where we talk about stories that have us all talking.
Jeff Wagner is off, so we are joined by John and Willow of Thirst Coats Digest. She's taking Jeff's place, and Brian Goddard is with us also.
That means I get to be the mean one.
Yep.
And you get to be the cute, nice one, Jeff, Brian.
Okay, she's always picking on me in the Weather Center, so I'm surprised they're letting us on the air together. This is going to be interesting.
Well, let's talk football and see how you two square off. Topic number one, do the punishments fit the crime in the case of the New Orleans Saints and their bounty system? Punishment includes a 1-year suspension for the head coach, Sean Payton, who reportedly looked the other way when he found out his defensive coordinator was offering cash bounties for hurting other players. Apparently on that list, Aaron Rodgers.
I'm going to say that it didn't go far enough. You've got a massive lawsuit with the NFL right now that includes over 30 current and former NFL players. And this has been a well-known problem throughout the history of football. And granted, getting hit is great showmanship, but it really ruins people's lives. And Sean Payton was a big fish. It was for his Super Bowl year, and that's great. But I think that the players themselves should have been suspended. And I think that hopefully at least this wakes up the NFL to the seriousness of the problem, and the fans too, because they have to support it, or else it's not really going to go anywhere.
I agree. I think it's just kind of touching the tip of the iceberg here. I think there's going to be more suspensions coming down from the NFL. I think a year, it had to be at least a year. I agree with you, it could have been even more, but the NFL had to put its foot down and say this is enough. If you just gave the guy 3, 4, 5 game suspension, that's not nearly enough when you're considering you're trying to ruin a player's career out there. I used to be a fan of Sean Payton, but not so much anymore.
And it's interesting, all this was going on at the same time the NFL had ruled out, certain hits. That you're going to get a penalty flag if you hit a certain way, but yet, teams are going the opposite way and actually ordering the hits, essentially.
And it's mind-boggling the amount of money. I mean, they're talking like $1,500 for this kind of a hit. This is like pennies for these players who are making millions of dollars.
Yeah.
But it was all about ego and just trying to show that we're going to knock this guy out.
Anybody want to go out there on a limb and say that the hit that Sean Payton took on the sideline that knocked him out for a while maybe was a little karma?
Maybe just a little bit karma. I don't think that's really a limb, Steve.
Hey, I just threw it out there. I was waiting for one of you to take it.
I like it.
All right, coming up next, something that I am keen to talk about.
The big Marquette Sweet 16 game is tonight. We're going to show you why luck may be in the team's corner.
1-800-56.
Again, we are joined by John and Willow and our very own Brian Goddard.
So our next topic, a 5-year-old boy has his long locks chopped after kids at school make fun of him. Should his mother have cut his hair sooner? He's been mistaken for a girl. They're calling him Rapunzel. And he made his first visit to a barber shop. Oh.
Wow.
At first glance, he honestly looks like a girl. There, he looks like a little boy.
Would you do that to Austin, Brian?
Let his hair grow like that?
Yeah.
When he's older and he wants to, but as a kid like that, no.
And it doesn't sound like this little boy maybe wanted it that long. I mean, if he was being teased, you would think he would want to get a haircut.
Kids are mean enough. Don't give them more ammo. That's my point.
The way I handled it was Harrison, my 13-year-old now, I let him have baby curls when he was little, till he was about 2 or 3. I kept him a little bit long, but when he was about... There he is.
See, that's cute, though.
He was about 10 in that picture, and so I cut his hair when he started school, and then he went through getting one haircut every couple years. But when he was 10 in that picture, you can see he decided he wanted to get his hair cut.
Looks like he should be in a boy band.
Yeah, well, that was how he wanted it cut, and he's had short hair ever since. But that's how much I cut off.
Oh gosh. Yeah, but his hair, I mean, it looked good. It wasn't down to his waist, for heaven's sake.
No. And I think the kids, I think you hit it, Courtney. There's a social pressure that comes from outside when parents make decisions about their kids' looks that are that broad sweeping. I mean, like I said, I liked his baby curls, but once he was 3 and he looked like a boy, I cut it short until he felt like growing it long again.
Yeah, and I think, if a kid that age says, I don't want my hair down to my waist,
don't force it.
Right. It's not like them saying, I don't want to wear glasses or shoes or something like that.
Yeah, it seems like the mom had a lot of vanity going there.
So is it okay if I get a perm tonight? Come to work with curly hair tomorrow?
I think that would be hot.
Thanks. That's why it's called What's Hot.
Finally, March Madness. Marquette coach Buzz Williams makes an amazing shot in the team's first practice in Phoenix. Watch this. Half court, nothing but net. Is this a good omen for the game tonight?
All I can say is if it comes down
and then
to
he swims.
Right.
If it comes down to a last-second shot, put a jersey on him and just kind of sneak him onto the court. I mean,
seriously.
That's impressive.
So what do you think? Are they going to the Final Four this year?
It's going to be tough. Tonight, I think they win tonight. It's going to be a fantastic, fantastic game.
All right, what about Wisconsin?
You think they're out after tonight?
If Wisconsin can play its game and hit the three-pointers, they'll be all right.
But they're going to need to be on top of it with
right.
Syracuse.
Syracuse is a great team.
Yeah,
Does the state of Wisconsin have a champion this year, do you think?
He thinks so, don't you, Marquette?
You know, I've got him in the Final Four, but I have got Kentucky winning
Full
it all.
disclosure, he's an alum. So.
Yeah,
you have Kentucky winning it all.
I do have Kentucky winning it all.
No.
Okay, now which of those two teams do you have in the Final Four, Wisconsin or Marquette?
I've got Marquette, Kentucky, Ohio State, and I believe Ohio State. North Carolina is the fourth.
I think of the two teams, I think Marquette has the more athletic ability to make it. So
I think there was a game played earlier this year that proved that.
Right.
You know, it just depends, though. It depends on what kind of night you're having. You can be the best team and go in and have a bad night, and, you know, it's March Madness.
Well, that was Syracuse just about a week ago in their tournament. They got blown out the first game. So anything can happen. That's why it's so much fun to watch. It can be great night of basketball.
Call it madness. Let's go Marquette. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Now is the season to give your home and